So in Marvel Spider-Man 2, we all love having suit combos. They're very fun and they just make the game sort of pop a little bit more when you have suits that just work really well together. Unlike something like this, like having the evolved suit with this, it just doesn't work, right? I'm sorry for ragging on the evolved suit, but I still don't like it. It's been over 6 months, I'm still not a fan. But as you know as well, in Marvel Spider-Man 2, we had a ton of suits returning, especially for Miles. Miles got a ton of his suits from the Miles Morales game, and that's fair because he didn't really have the biggest amount of suits in that game, so it makes sense, right? And he also got a ton of different ones, as you can see here, like with this suit, the Shadow Spider suit, the Life Story suit, and obviously the really amazing Forever suit. However, Peter has had such a huge amount of suits in the first game that haven't made a return, and I wanted to explore the idea of what cool suit combos we could have had if Peter had all of his, suits from the first game in this one. And now I'm going to show you what it could have looked like and what we really missed out on. So the first combo that we completely missed out on, and I don't even know how this happened, is the Spider-Verse combo, right? We don't have the Peter B. Parker suit in Marvel Spider-Man 2, and that still makes no sense to me, right? Like, that suit was one of the coolest additions in Spider-Man Remastered, and I'm just so confused as to why it's not here, right? Like, it just makes perfect sense to have this suit with Miles's, Spider-Verse suits, regardless of if it's across the Spider-Verse or into the Spider-Verse. It just makes sense. Like, I know we have the Noir suit, but still, I feel like that's just not good enough. Now, obviously, we might get some sort of free update down the road with some extra Peter suits and things like that. Insomniac loves to drop little updates of suits and things, so I'm just keeping up hope. But we'll see, because they did have that terrible data breach, and I can't even imagine how bad it would be to deal with all that, so I'm gonna cut him some slack there, okay? But I've made a few different versions of this. So you see here, it's the Across the Spider-Verse Miles. Then we have the store-bought suit, which, dude, look at this. How good does that look, man? Like, I'm just it would have been so cool to see this in cutscenes of them just interacting with each other. It would have been so cool. And then, of course, the Into the Spider-Verse suit as well. I'm genuinely surprised as to why this isn't a thing in the game, because it just would have worked so well, right? Like, the whole Spider-Verse combo, like, how do you not have that included? But it is what it is. I've still got my fingers crossed, and if not, then guess what? We've got our trusty modders, the Spider-Man Remastered modders, that are gonna clutch up, and they're gonna bring us what we're asking for right now when Marvel Spider-Man 2 comes to PC. 100%, no doubts about that. Like, legit, we're gonna have so much awesome content over there, and I seriously just can't wait for the announcement of Marvel Spider-Man 2 on PC. I hope it is sometime soon. Maybe if there's a showcase, I would really like that a lot, but we'll see. Then this one is amazing. So I'm pretty sure this is one of Peter's, I think this is the Mark IV armored suit or something along the lines of that. I completely forgot, but this is when he has Parker Industries in the comics, and he's like super rich and he can just make this crazy armored suit. And then we have the advanced tech suit for Miles. I think these two match up really well together, especially if Miles's lenses were red. I feel like it would have worked a lot better on this suit. But I think just having an armored tech Spidey combo like this would have been awesome to see, and I'm such a fan of this. Like, it's a advanced suit, right? Like, it's very technological, but at the same time, it's got that classic feel to it, and I just love that about this suit. I genuinely just enjoy it so much, and I think it just looks fantastic. It really does. And I had such a fun time with putting this entire thing together, which is it's pretty crazy trying to find combos for suits, but it worked out in the end. Then the next one would be like a stealth combo here, and I went with the stealth suit from, Marvel Spider-Man Remastered, and then Miles's, I think this is the Brooklyn 2099 suit, and obviously he's got a few different variants, and this is the one with the green, lighting, and I just thought, hey, this would have just worked perfectly with this one. And imagine these two suits in a nighttime sort of cutscene with the glows and everything. It just would have had that whole stealth feel, and it just would have been another option of a cool combo to use, because that's what we really like as Spider-Man sort of evolved through the years now with the addition of the Spider-Verse and different realities, because the multiverse craze is still insane. I mean, we've had like so many multiverse movies and different things, and the Spider-Verse is still a huge thing. So, you know, of course, we're gonna like matching up different suits and kind of creating our own little universe as our own game, right? Like, you can think of each person's different playthroughs like a whole different universe to them, which is the craziest way to think about it, right? So yeah, there's that, and then also there's the original stealth suit as well as the combo, and it still works pretty well, right? Like, they've still got their own lights and things. But if the Peter stealth suit was in the game, I'm sure it would have had like different recolors, like red lighting or blue lighting or yellow, things like that, because I'm pretty sure some of those are in the comics anyways, like that. So it would have been really cool to see. But, you know, maybe they'll add like a DLC or something down the road where they'll just sort of just add all the other suits. At least I could hope so, because I've heard that they have to rebuild all the suits from the ground up, because you know, they're not having to deal with the PS4 sort of like thing anymore, having to hold them back. So they have to rebuild the suits and assets so they look really good on the PS5. So yeah, but I don't know all the details, so I could just be like wrong, but yeah. Then we have another armored suit, and I think this one works really well. Now, I know people hate this suit of Miles. I don't know the exact name, but I know they hate it. But I call this combo the extra armored suits because they're just armored up. I think this is the Mark III armored suit for Peter, and this is like I think this is an original. I think, I'm not 100%, but this is a suit variant, and I think these two genuinely work really well. Like, they're very armored up, and I think the emblems kind of work well together. The colors on the sides as well match up really well, especially like the middle part here on both suits. Like, it looks really, really good. So I actually really like this suit, like especially this variant, and I know a lot of people hate it, but I just think it's a fun little suit. It's got a lot going on, but I just think it's cool. I just think it's neat, right? And everyone can have their own opinions. And then this is the original, what the original suit looks like. Obviously, it's not the strongest, but I think it had a cool design, so to speak. It's not like a crazy ever design. You can look at it and not puke, and that's a good thing. Now, we've got the Last Stand suit and the End suit for Miles combo. And what this is pretty much a combo of the old Spideys, right? Like, this is what both Peter and Miles wear in their own respective, like, old age era, if so to speak, like where they're having their own last stands or their own issues or whatever is going on. I've not really read The Last Stand. I just know that there's just some bad stuff that happened with Peter and Mary Jane. It's really gross. And then for Miles, I'm not too sure, but I absolutely love the End suit. Like, it looks crazy cool, and I just love the fact that he's just using some jackets and some like just pants and things and combining it into a suit, like with the mask and everything. Looks fantastic. And the same thing with Peter, like he's just got a jacket on and just like a simple mask. I think there's just something so cool in terms of it being so simple, right? Like, in terms of the simplicity, I absolutely just love that a ton. Then we have another cool combo that I thought of, and this is the Resilient suit and the Miles like Prowler suit, right? And the reason why I put these two together is that they have a lot of similarities when you really look at it. Like, if you look at Peter here, he's like lenses on this suit, and the Resilient suit is an original suit, by the way, like an Insomniac original as well. And yeah, so the lenses are very like menacing and just much smaller, and it's the same thing on Miles's as well. But that emblem that kind of runs all around the suit here on Peter's suit is the same thing for Miles, and I thought I'd use the more so like red, black, and gray version here with this like, you know, kind of like dulled out blue and red version for Peter. I think it like works really well. At least to me, it really does. So let me know in the comments if you guys think the same thing, right? Because your opinions and things are greatly appreciated. And if you're still here, hit that subscribe button. If you're not subscribed, and hit the like button because it's glowing right now. That's crazy that YouTube added that. Then this is what the original looks like, which, yeah, it looks pretty good, right? It still looks okay. But I think that this version just looks way better, right? Just way better in terms of the colors. I think it's my favorite recolor of the Prowler suit because it still has that like Spider-Man kind of vibe to it, but he also looks very, very menacing. And I think that is just really cool to have a Spider-Man that just looks crazy menacing, because you know, when Spider-Man stops making jokes and he's just silent, you're in trouble, you better start running. But you're not going to get away from him, so there's that. And then we have the whole Tokusatsu combo here, and this is, in my opinion, one of the biggest missed opportunities, because in Marvel Spider-Man Remastered we got this like Tokusatsu Kamen Rider style suit for Peter, and his suit is actually inspired by Kamen Rider Thouser, right? Heavily inspired, and I think that's such a cool thing. I love the whole cell shading look to it. It's very cool to add something like this for the whole like Kamen Rider, like, you know, Super Sentai fans and things like that. And then for Miles as well, like his suit here is also inspired by Super Sentai and Kamen Rider, and the fact that we can't have these two together in like a sort of cutscene or even in the game, it's kind of devastating in a way. I know I sound like a nerd talking about it like that, but when you look at them side by side like this, and if Miles's one was also either cel shaded or Peter's was kind of more like realistic, you know, it really would have been a very powerful combo to have. And I say that like, you know, I mean that. I genuinely mean that. So this has been the 12 sort of combos that I've had here. Yeah, I've included some recolors and things just to show you the differences. But these combos, I feel like, are really heavily missed out on. Like, missed out opportunities that we could have had. Especially, like, the Last Stand and the End combo. Then even these, like, armored, like, Spidey suits. The stealth suits here. I mean, even the other armored tech Spidey suits, like this. And like Spider-Verse, like how do you not have this in the game? So I'm hoping that we get this, and if you do ask Insomniac on any of their posts, like ask nicely, don't be overbearing or anything like that, because you know, they're just busy and there's a lot going on over there, especially with like future titles and things that are being worked on. So just bear that in mind. And if you're new to the channel, you know, hit the like button, subscribe, watch another video on screen here, and have yourselves an absolute wonderful day. Take care. Peace.